Welcome to Rauta's non-metal reviews. This time we go to the world of ambience and industrial music, maybe with a more emphasis on industrial. Uh, well, be it as it may, this is Bestia Astrum with an album called Fury 161. If the name rings a bell, there's a reason. Alien 3, you know the movie. Well, this is based on it. More or less than, the whole concept. That is, just beyond the movie, also the so-called tripled production of the movie. I know it really divides people into different categories. Those who like it as a lot, like, being Alien franchise fans. This is me. I even have the soundtrack in my collection. And then those who are like, oh, it's not worth watching compared to the first two Alien ones, Alien and Aliens, respectively. Be it as may, the cold atmosphere of the given movie, the horror elements, and the prison-like concept, I found them fascinating, and as such, I totally understand why there are love letters such as this. Now, I haven't opened the CD just yet, except for the listening purposes, so I haven't even taken a glimpse of the booklet within. And before we go on, I think it's worth mentioning the artist name in question, but it's somewhere here. Abby Hellasdottir from New Zealand has taken the time to create the music, the visuals, everything here. And I find it quite funny because when I was listening to this one, I was thinking of the album Nostromo from Sleep Research Facility, because that's based on the Nostromo spaceship from the original Alien movie, that is, not plural. And, obviously these are related to the same franchise. And then I noticed Abby's connection to that album on Discog when I was venturing through, like figuring out the links for this one. So, small world. Very interesting. Abby seems to be a multi-talent when it comes to visual and oral takes in the world. So, yes, multi-talented individual creating visuals and musical sides. Always very fascinating when a single artist can create all that. Now, this is not indeed an alternative, soundtrack to it, but definitely has a little bit of that, as well as essay here, as you can see. But like I mentioned, I haven't read this for the review purposes. First of all, I'm clueless like that, and then again, I also unfortunately don't have the professional time for it because it's just a hobby. So those who want to dive deeper into that stuff or go for the physical product, well, this is your excuse. Images and TSA to dive into that. But we're mostly talking about the music, not just, how the packaging looks and what there might be within. Since there is no real website for Bestia Astrum, or at least I couldn't find it, maybe I'm clueless, but I found this Cold Spring Bandcamp site for this particular project or CD. Here it is as a backdrop, and this tells you a little bit of background about the stuff that is around here. It was released in November 2024, so not exactly new anymore, but not that old either. And throughout this whole course of action, you have these 7 tracks, some of the rather lengthy ones, touching both ambience and industrial. And here it says United Kingdom, but that's related to the label, not the artist itself. So what can we really talk about when we're listening to Fury 161? Well, first of all, there are these industrial elements which are there to kind of give this rather machine-like approach to the music. That is, you will certainly hear the kind of clangs and hisses and all that stuff, which, and again, give you a little bit of the idea. It sounds very much like a machine made of place, in which respect this kind of reminds me of fabulous dark ambient project Innate. Also, there are parts where it gets more just ambient like. So when I said in the beginning, maybe it's more industrial, I don't know. To be honest, it could be more on the ambient side as well. This is more like one of those 50-50 things. But one thing is worth mentioning, and this is, when you're thinking industrial, you have to understand that this is in the context of ambience as well as being instrumental music. So it's not about the melodies, it's definitely not about rock and roll riffs. I mean, if you're thinking now industrial rock or industrial metal, forget everything about it. This has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with that. There are no vocals, there are no singing parts, there are no guitars or, fancy keyboard tunes. So it's about blending together, industrial as well as ambience. And sometimes the lines are really, really blurred. It's much like sometimes you go for the ambient albums, which are more kind of a droney. And that's when you're actually nitpicking about subgenres. Oh, is this more droney? Oh, this is more industrial. This is more pure ambience. This is this, this is that. So let's not go, splitting hairs because serves nobody. But if you are looking for into rather haunting atmosphere, much like Nostromo, but essentially quite different. Whereas Nostromo is very drony and not much too much is happening. It's very much the kind of a spacing humming, really. This is more about you could, figure out that you're into this prison complex planet or whatever. And then there are these weird clans like, what is this coming from? What's going on inside that warehouse door? Or what's beyond that abandoned place? Is there some kind of a mine and there are some creatures, some critters even, or maybe the monster is actually making those noise. But then again, how can absolutely perfect stealth creature create noises? Well, sometimes it can, and sometimes it's the imagination playing the tricks. So in a way, yeah, I could say Fury 161 is totally an alternative soundtrack to Alien 3 movie. Then again, I find it's more like expanding the whole movie franchise or this particular movie idea into something different. It's almost like you have the movie and you have the music, and then you have the expanded take, meaning like making ofs and so forth. So this is one angle to take a look at the whole movie, the whole story, the whole atmosphere. Atmosphere more than anything, because obviously this is music, not a movie or game in the sense of being visual and all. Now comes with a beautiful packaging. This digibag is good gift, or either for yourself or a friend or whatever, in case there is a person who really, really likes Alien 3. I kind of wished this was more into the territory of dark ambience rather than being on the verge of industrial and ambient, but that's just me. Now, this being said, however, this is a good album and a solid, one to consider for your collection if you're into the movie and the given style. Not for everybody, kind of a too niche, too marginal release for that. But those who know what they are in for, this is a solid one to put into your collection. Now I wish you good time with the music. Links to this Bandcamp as well as some social media links are included in the description box. Off you go, and I hope you enjoy it.